Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the forum. The forum will begin shortly. Please be seated and make yourselves comfortable. For the audience on site, please switch your mobile phone to the silent mode. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Patty, today's MC of the forum. Thank you for coming to the 2023 India-Taiwan Cooperation Forum, Twin Technology Collaboration for Green Growth, organized by Taipei Computer Association and supported by Bureau of Foreign Trade, Ministry of Economy Affairs. Before we begin, I would like to introduce and welcome the VIP guests and the speakers of this event. Please wave your hand to the audience when I call your name. Dr. G.J. Lee, Deputy Director General of Bureau of Foreign Trade. Welcome. Mr. Glangla Das, Director General of ITA. Welcome, Mr. Das. Mr. Amidesh Kumar Sinha, Joint Secretary of METI. It's the online speaker. Let's welcome him. And then let's welcome Mr. Alok Tripathi, Director and Chief Controller of Examinations, NALET. Welcome. Dr. J.B. Shao, General Secretary of Computer Skills Foundation. Welcome. And we also welcome Dr. Mingshan Zheng, Deputy General Director of Green Energy and Environment Research Laboratories of ITRI. And then let's welcome Mr. Devesh Rastogi, President of FETA. Mr. Nabilatan Kadaria, Director of NASCOM Center of Excellence IoT. Welcome. And the chairs of Twin Society. Mr. Charles Lin, VP and Chief Logistics Officer of Pectron. Welcome. Mr. Mark Young, Associate Vice President of Antcon EIoT Advantech. Welcome. Besides these VIPs, many industry delegates from India are also present with us today. We welcome them all for coming. Let's begin our program today with welcome remarks. Let's welcome Dr. Zheng Yu Li, CEO of the International Cooperation Center of TCA, to say a few words for us. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon and good morning for those people online.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Das, Deputy General of the ITA, Mr. G.J. Lee, Deputy Director General of the BOFT, and Mr. Amitish Kumar Shihat, Joint Secretary of METIS, online join us today, and Mr. Ahol Tripathi, Director of NALET, Mr. Charles Lin, VP and the COO of Pectron, and also the board member of the Twin Societies, and another board member of Twin Societies, Mr. Mark Young, Associated VP, Advantech, Mr. Dr. Zheng, Deputy General Director, Green Energy and Environment Research Laboratory of the ITRI, and Dr. Xiao Jiabing, Xiao Boshi, and General Secretary of the Computer Skill Foundations, and Mr. Rushdich, President of the FITAS, and Mr. Naratans, Director of the NASCOMs, and Mr. Kish, and all the distinguished guests, my friends from industry of both India and Taiwan, and a special to the delegation from India. Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm, a very good afternoon, all of you, and good morning to those joining us from online. It's my honor to extend a very warm welcome to all of you to join the India-Taiwan Cooperation Forum on behalf of ICC and of TCA. For the past 12 years, ITCF have been providing a valuable platforms for exchange policy and market updates, and facilitating closer network opportunities for India and Taiwan establishments, include the commercial and governmental. So Taiwan and India has been actively involved in the development and promotions of emergency technologies, recognizing the importance of the sustainable practice and environmental conservations. So both countries has implemented various activities to foster the growth of the technology sectors. India has set an ambitious projects, projections, and a target for self-reliance in technology as part of its commitment to the sustainable development and addressing global challenges. So the rate of the technology adoption of India, bolstered by enhanced governmental policy, such as the POI schemas and other funds for electronic manufacturing, create an intelligent climate for Taiwanese industry to explore cooperations. And Taiwan, on the other hand, plays a vital role in the global supply chains for high-tech products, manufacturing components, semiconductors, etc. Besides its strong capacity on supply chains, Taiwan also set the energy transactions promotion schema with a global goal of promote green energy. So by bringing together key stakeholders from public and private sector of Taiwan and India, the ITCF has been able to identify and promote industry synergies that can benefit both Taiwan and India. So we and ICC will keep our efforts in promoting and facilitating and realizing many more cooperation between Taiwan and India by creating win-win situations for industry from both the side as foreign, such as ITCF and the twin make up forward to these directions. Along with a very warm welcome, I wish to extend my sincere thankfulness to you being part of the forums, and thank you all, and hope you have a very fruitful session today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Please return to your seat. Now, I would like to introduce Mr. Charles Lin, VP and Chief Logistics Officer of Pectron and the Chair of Twin Society, to share his remarks. Welcome.
Thank you for Dr. Lee's introduction, and Mr. Das, Director General, and Mr. Akeshi Sharma. Although you are in online, so we met in the last year. And Amit Shiha is also Joint Secretary of the meeting. 经济部国贸局李冠志副局长. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It's a pleasure to welcome all of you to the 12th India-Taiwan Cooperation Forum and the Twins Meetup. For the past of years, Pegatron Cooperation has been expanding globally, especially with the South and the East Asia region. And our global footprint has been extended to India in July 2020. With the greatest support from the India government, Pegatron Technology India was established in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and also received approval from MITI for production linked incentive scheme for large-scale electronic manufacturing. It has been an extraordinary journey for Pegatron to be in India, setting up the factory, interacting with the relative government office, recruiting talent from each region of India, and working together as a team. Despite the challenge caused by pandemics, I am overwhelmed with the help and the assistance warmly provided by various government authorities. Pegatron Technology commenced production early 2022 and is now in full swing of productions and generating over 13,000 employment opportunities locally. India is globally renowned for its capability and talents in software engineering, while Taiwan is known as the hub of hardware manufacturing. The strengths of India and Taiwan are the fundamental of ITC industry and present a perfect match for each other. For the continuous growth of the industry, through Twin, I firmly that collaboration of India and Taiwan could create value through innovation and generate great opportunity together. Although hardware, manufacturing, and software engineering are different in nature, with diverse mindset and the thinking process. Having said that, the way to embrace the difference and cooperate seamlessly for value creation as a twin, for cooperation through the coordination, deep learning, and the technology transformation. Twin Society provides the ultimate platform for such a unique collaboration between both hardware and software. I am extremely excited about the future opportunity created for India and Taiwan cooperation and look forward to the fruitful result together. On behalf of Twin Society, a very warm welcome to all of you and thank you for taking part in this special event. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lin. Thank you for your sharing. Please back to your seat. Thank you. Now let's hear from Mr. Golan Galadis, Director General of ITA, to share his remarks. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome, Mr. Das.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. DDG Lee from BOFT, Dr. Lee from the TCA, VP Lin from Pegatron, all the visitors from India, and also partners from Taiwan. I am happy to be back again at the India-Taiwan Cooperation Forum, ITCF. This is my second or third ICTF, but first attending in person. And I am happy to see so many Indian friends joining in person today after long gap due to the pandemic. I'm happy to see that we are now back to doing business, thanks to the consistent support and effort from friends in the Taipei Computer Association. And I must compliment the leadership of Dr. Lee and his team in bringing us together once again. I am also happy to see that we are not only now moving on to the second decade of the ITCF, but also having the first engagement, more purposive engagement between the industries through the new Twin Society. So I really like the name Twin. It not only conveys the partnership of Taiwan and India, but also shows the trend of the times, that twinning of what India and Taiwan have been known for, software and hardware, is what is going to drive the innovation and the digital economy of this 21st century. So I am quite excited to be here to see the launch of this twin meetup as well, and to see all the exciting opportunities that are unveiling before us. Of course, nothing is a more suitable time for us to assemble than what is going on around here in this neighborhood through the Computex and the Innovex. So you will see, particularly friends from India who are here, you will see how computing industry itself has transformed through the various decades, and the Computex has grown along with that. Of course, today the driving force of technology and the computing industry is the AI technology, and various people have described how AI technology is different, who is driving the AI technology, whether it is the data centers or whatever. I am not an expert on all of this, but all I know that no matter whoever is driving, they are all having to depend on Taiwan. So I think Taiwan is driving the new computing paradigms in the world today. And I think we in India know that in order to survive, thrive, and to take our own technology and innovation to the next layer, we have to have partnership, very strong partnership with Taiwan. So I hope that those of you who have come here from India will take back something with you, and then that will also keep our partnership in very good state. Innovex is again another exciting area of opportunity. Innovation, as I was speaking to some of my compatriots from India just a little while ago, is now everywhere in India. It is no longer restricted to the top tier cities, but has percolated down to the very grassroots of India. And good innovation is coming from all parts of India. And in India, the important thing is that we are not just looking to serve business clients, but also to see how technology can be harnessed for our own social development, to address the long-standing problems of India. So it's a very exciting time to be in India and to see all the innovation that are happening to address those long-standing problems, be it in the urbanization sphere, be it in education sector, and of course in the space of green growth, which is the topic I understand for today's discussion. Green growth, again, India has highly ambitious targets. We have also announced our own net zero growth strategy. And this year's budget has identified various measures to help our transition into the green growth paradigm. It's in fact, green growth has been identified as one of the 7 key strategies, we call it the Saptarshi, to take India, to transform India's economy. So green growth, we have several individual projects to realize that green growth ambitions of India, whether it is through the green hydrogen mission, which we have an ambition of 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen production by the year 2030, whether it is the all the investments that we are facilitating to realize our goal of green net zero carbon emission, or be it in the space of consumption, because we also have a program for what we call lifestyle for environment. So these are on the consumption side of the paradigm. But whether it is in the production or in the consumption side, again, we need very good technologies, and much of it is driven by the computing ecosystem. So there again, we have enough to do with Taiwan. So just as Taiwan is coming up with good technologies, we in India are coming up with good innovation. And of course, India provides a good market, not only for solving our own problems, but those problems resonate in large parts of the developing world, what we call the global south. So to work with Taiwan is a window for the Taiwanese, to work with India is a window for the Taiwanese companies to make that global transition happen, which will result in a better world, in a more green, more clean world. And I think it is imperative that we take this as a challenge, Indians and Taiwans working together, not only to solve our own problems, but also to stand up for the sustained development of the entire world. So with those words, I'm once again very excited to see this large gathering here and look forward to very productive discussion today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Das. Please return to your seat. Next, let's welcome Dr. G.J. Lee, Deputy Director General of Bureau of Foreign Trade, to give his remarks for us. Welcome. Let's welcome Dr. G.J. Lee.
Good day, namaste. And I'm quite happy to participate in today's session. And after waiting for 3 years caused by pandemic, and I'm also very excited to have this opportunity to welcome Joint Secretary Mr. Sinha from METI online in New Delhi, and Mr. Charles Lin, the VIP of Pakistan Corporations, Mr. Gurungala Das, the Director General of Indian Taipei Association, and Dr. Zheng Yu Li, the CEO of International Cooperation Center of Taipei Computer Association, and all the dignitaries from the India's, not only the IT companies, but from the National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, NILIT, and also Federation of all India IT Associations, and the National Association of Software and Service Companies, and a very welcome to this year's Indian-Taiwan Cooperation Forum. IT not only stands for information technology, but the India and the Taiwan. So it's a perfect combination of these two countries. So the keyword, first keyword is India. Why India is the very close industry collaboration partner of Taiwan. For long years, we work together and we help each other, and we put our effort into the real business and the investment activities. So I think driven by the vision of the government policies of both sides, the Indian also sketch a very high ambitious goal to develop the industries, especially through the IT technologies. In Taiwan, we also have a very solid and also a very well-connected foundation of all the IT manufacturing and supply chains. These years, Taiwan already become regional data centers. So not only focusing on the hardware manufacturing, but we, through the building of our capacity and the capabilities of computing, of the artificial intelligence, of the IoT, and all the good things make Taiwan as an irreplaceable and also irreplaceable place of the IT technologies. And Taiwan, I think over the past 3 years, every year we receive the orders from over the world for manufacturing notebook, for manufacturing the smartphones, and also semiconductors, over 200 billion US dollars annually over the past 3 years. So today's event also happened on the occasion of the Computex, which is one of the largest computer show in the world. And also we also prepare a very colorful and also very fruitful sessions of the Computex forum. We invite lots of the dignitaries, the IT tycoons from the United States, from Europe, from India, to join with us to share all the good experiences. And also, I think right now, the green transformation and also the digital transformation, that's also another 2 key words. So for every government who would like to achieve these 2 goals, definitely need to through the, I think the wide adoption of the IT technologies and the IT hardwares. So I would say we're quite confident about the Indian-Taiwan cooperation from now on and also in the future. Last year, the bilateral trade between India and Taiwan reached about 8.5 billion US dollars, is the historical high of our bilateral trade. And Taiwanese investment in India is also over 2.5 billion US dollars. And I don't need to mention, there's lots of investment through the third countries, not directly from Taiwan. So right now, India is already a very popular destination for Taiwanese investors. With that, we also very appreciate it and also like to seek the continuous support from the Indian government to provide more incentives for Taiwanese investors and to facilitate and simplify all the procedures of company registration, of business operations in India. So that I think both sides can achieve a higher standard of our cooperations. Today, I also like to congratulate Taipei Computer Association and the Computer Skill Foundation is going to enter into the MOU cooperation with NILIT. And the talent cultivation is very important. And I think I need to mention Dr. Dennis Hu, who just retired from Taipei Computer Association 2 years ago, but still the volunteer worker for the Taipei Computer Association in cultivating the talent, cultivating the industries, and also to build the strengths of both sides. Finally, I think I would like to share Taiwan is the, I think the very safe place for doing business and also for your investment, especially for our Indian friends. So please choose Taiwan and use Taiwan as your base, as your home for regional market development. So Taiwan is, I think right now the current situation, I don't need to mention lots of challenges we faced in the global geopolitical arena and also lots of international, I think the policy issues. But I think we are very responsible and reliable partner of the IT industries in the world. And Taiwan is a very secured and safe place for your business, for your investment. So in Taiwan, plus the world, and plus India's. So I would like to once again thank you for your time and your participation in today's Indian-Taiwan Cooperation Forum. And also, I think would like to congratulate your expansion of business and prosperity in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. G.J. Lee. Please return to your seat. Now I'd like to take the chance to invite VIPs and speakers to take a group photo together. For on-site VIPs, please come on the stage. Let's welcome. First, we want to invite Dr. Dennis Hu. Welcome. Mr. Gurujaru. Welcome. Dr. Mingshan Zheng. Mr. Labjanan Kadalia, Mr. Mark Young. And then we welcome Mr. Alok Tripathi. Also, we are welcome Dr. J.B. Shaw, Mr. Das, Dr. Zhenyu Li, Dr. G.J. Lee, Mr. Charles Lin, Mr. Dastogi. And also, we invite the online speaker with us, Mr. Amidesh Kumar Singha. Please join us in the group photo together. And we want to make sure if Mr. Singha, are you there? Can you hear me? Okay, so right now we take the group photo together. We want to take the two photos. First photo, please look at the photographer in front of the stage and smile. When I count to 1, 3, 2, 1, smile. Yeah, it's a great moment. And next photo, please give us a thumbs up and also smile. 3, 2, 1, thumbs up. Yeah, Taiwan and India are the best. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your patience. Please return to your seat. On behalf of the organizers, I'd like to express our sincere appreciation to you for joining us today. We couldn't have organized this event without your great support. Before we begin the forum, we would like to use this occasion to ink 2 MOUs between NALIT, TCA, and CSF. NALIT and CSF are the leading authorities in terms of digital skilling and certifications in India and Taiwan. With affiliation support from TCA, NALIT and CSF will now sign a MOU, renewing on the mutual recognition of certification standards, exchange programs for faculty and students, and joint research projects. In addition, TCA will also be renewing the MOU with NALIT to continue their collaboration in the human resource field in Taiwan and India. We would like to express our special thanks for Dr. Dennis Hu for laying the groundwork for the collaboration. Welcome. And Ms. Bamika Vyas for her technical support. Let's proceed to the signing of these agreements. And then let's welcome the signatories. First, let's welcome Mr. Alok Tripathi, Director of NALIT. Welcome. And also we welcome Dr. Shao, General Secretary of CSF. And then we welcome Dr. Zhenyu Li, CEO of the International Cooperation Center of TCA. Please come on the signing desk. And then we also welcome the witnesses of this signing ceremony to the stage. Let's welcome Mr. Charles Lin, Mr. Das, and Dr. G.J. Lee. Come on stage. Welcome. Please watch your steps. Thank you. This is the great moment. Once you are ready, please sign the documents in front of you. So right now we want to invite the 3 representatives to sign. And I think they are happy to cooperate again. Once you are done, please exchange the documents with Mr. Trumpy. Thank you. Please exchange to sign your name. Thank you. Yeah, the wonderful moment. We sincerely want to invite them to bring up the MOU later because we want to take a group photo. And also we invite the guests to give them a big lip applause. Thank you so much. It's a very important decision, so we need to take time to sign. Yeah, it's great, it's wonderful. Especially after the pandemic, It's a great moment. Please bravo for them. Yeah, very good. Thank you. So right now, would you please bring up, oh, okay, it's okay. Oh, yeah. So let me remind you, after this great forum, later we will have a very special networking dinner. So please look forward to joining us. Thank you. Right now, please bring up your MOU, show to the camera, and smile. 3, 2, 1, smile! And also, thumbs up! Yeah! Thank you, everyone. Thank you. You may return to your seats. Thank you. With the renewed agreements, we are confident in further advancing the collaboration in human resources, skill, development, and certification recognition between our countries. I think this great moment, I feel very happy about the signing. And right now, without further ado, let's dive into today's forum. For the first session, it's our honor to have the experts from METI and ITRI to deliver their keynotes. Let me remind you, each speaker has 20 minutes to share, and there will be a reminder at the back of the audience area to remind when there's 3 minutes left and when time's up. Let's welcome the first keynote speaker, METI Joint Secretary Amidesh Kumar Sinha joined us online to share his insights on the topic of Taiwan and India true partners in enriching sustainable future. Welcome. Hello. Mr. Sinha, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Let me check the sound. It's okay? Oh, now the floor is yours. Thank you, and then welcome, Mr. Sinha.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for inviting me. So I have a prepared presentation, and I will share my screen here. So kindly allow me access. Are you able to hear me? Okay. So today, topic given to me is India and Taiwan partners in forging a sustainable future. Actually, India has taken a very ambitious step for decarbonization of the economy and achieving the target of sustainability in a big way. Honorable Prime Minister of India has a vision that we are continuously striving towards achieving the goal of renewable energy and sustainable energy targets. And we are targeting 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. This is the promise that we have given to the world, and we are very much on the track to achieve these targets. So any company who is coming to India for setting up any kind of manufacturing facility will have a clear-cut access to renewable energy, a combination of solar, wind, green hydrogen, and other forms of energy. Before going further, I just want to share the kind of development happening in Indian economy. So if you see, India is the fastest growing large economy. And we are expecting that we will continue on this growth journey. We have highest fintech adoption, second largest internet user base, vibrant startup ecosystem, and then we have a very big talent pool. So if you see the kind of STEM engineers coming out of the country, I think my screen is not moving. So my colleague is saying that he is now sharing. So let's stop it for a while. Next. Yeah. So India has a very robust startup ecosystem, and more than 85,000 startups are registered. We are also producing unicorns every year in large numbers, and the kind of talent pool we have is 38 million engineering and technology graduates in 2022. So it makes us youngest population nation in this world, with an average median age of 29 years, and this kind of age advantage will continue for the next 40 years also. So this is a good opportunity where India is in a position to support any kind of activities, whether it is in manufacturing, or it is in R&D, or it is in software side. In all sides, we can provide access of talent. If you see the kind of FDI we are able to attract, it's the growth rate is 85% over the period from 2015 to 2022. So we believe that this kind of growth will continue and we will surpass our target also. And the FDI is coming in 57 sectors across 101 countries in all states of government of India, and we are seeing increase in manufacturing FDI also in overall FDI share. Next. And a lot of FDI are coming from Taiwan, because Taiwan is our trusted partner, and a very big and strong Taiwanese companies are increasing their base in India, and they are ramping up their base very quickly. And we are proud that today the kind of manufacturing happening is totally supported by Taiwanese company. If you see opportunities in digitally empowered economy, India has 1.3 billion enrollments of unique identity called Aadhaar. We have UPI transactions happening because of the unique transaction ID, the mobile availability with all the users, and the bank account. Every citizens or every family in India is now having a bank account. So the combination of bank account, mobile, and unique identity is paving way for UPI transaction, the online transaction, and it is huge in India. If you come and see, you will see that really it has transformed the society. And every nook and corner, even a shopkeeper or vegetable vendors, everybody is using UPI for transaction of small amount during the day-to-day business. Next. If we see the goals we have kept for green energy and sustainability, next, we have a good growth. 38 gigawatt was the capacity in 2015. It has almost increased 3 times. India is the 4th largest globally RE installed capacity country, and our ambition is to achieve by 2030 carbon intensity below 45%, and then 50% of renewable energy supply will also come by 2030, and we will also reduce 1 billion ton of carbon intensity. So this is the kind of commitment from our side. And if any company, Taiwanese company and Indian companies in collaboration or independently manufacturing in India or having their facility in India, they can source renewable energy power from 4 different sources. One, they can have their own captive power generation. Second, they can have commercial tie-ups with those renewable energy company who are supplying round-the-clock power in combination of solar, wind, battery, and other sources. They can have rooftop. They can have cluster approach also, where all of their setups can be provided with renewable energy. And then they can request distribution companies also. The distribution company in power field, they can approach them to source green energy for their requirement, and they can decide their trajectory also. They can give their requirement in advance so that firms buy on their behalf and provide them. So to further accelerate this thing, government has also come up with open access rules 2022. This rule is clearly facilitating any company who desires to have renewable energy access independently. And a set of rules have come so that they don't feel any problem when they go to a particular state for sourcing this kind of energy. And as a result, we are seeing that 2.5 gigawatt of open access solar installation happened in 2022, and this is increasing more and more. Next. Not only in solar capacity addition we are doing well, we are also made a scheme for manufacturing of solar equipments in India. If we see a production link incentive scheme that was approved for manufacturing of solar PV module, you will clearly see that there are 2 rounds of bidding process that has happened, and a result of that, almost 48 gigawatt and more renewable energy capacity is under setup, and a large part of that is coming fully integrated plant coming from polysilicon to solar wafer to solar cells to module. So this kind of activity is happening, and earlier also we have a large setup of 15-16 gigawatt. So putting together a huge amount of manufacturing activities happening in India, not only for India but for the exports to outside world like the US and European Union and other countries. We have also come up with a green hydrogen roadmap, and we aim to achieve 5 MMT green hydrogen production by 2030. It will be global demand of hydrogen. 10% of that will be met by India at that time if we achieve this target, and it will require 125 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity addition and 60 gigawatt of electrolyzer. So this is a very good opportunity for Taiwanese company also to participate in the process of either setting up a green hydrogen plant or manufacturing electrolyzer in India in a big way. This is also a good opportunity for solar manufacturing, lot of R&D collaboration in increasing the efficiency of solar cells and different technology. So these are the opportunities where India and Taiwanese company can work together to achieve a higher degree of sustainability target in close coordination with each other. In wind energy also, India has a very big manufacturing base. Totally, the Indian consumption is met by manufacturing happening in India. All global companies are present in India. They're exporting also from India. And we are the 4th largest installed wind power capacity in the world. And with the combination of solar and wind, we hope that we will achieve the target of round-the-clock renewable energy power. Initially, more and more battery will be used to make it 100%, and during the progress and coming years, probably the cost of battery will come down, and more other solutions will also come down to reduce the availability of renewable energy. So on this journey, we are progressing. Next. So the offshore wind also, we have set up a target: onshore wind, offshore wind, solar, battery, hydro, and then we have made arrangements for green energy evacuation also. Lot of transmission grids are required to connect more and more remote places where there is a lot of potential for producing green energy. And now the latest is green hydrogen. So utilizing this combination, we are very sure that the decarbonization of economy will happen in a rapid way in coming years. Not only it will help Indian companies, but also help Taiwanese company who want to set up in India, and gives a lot of opportunity together. Next. In ESDM market, the kind of electronics manufacturing growth happening is also very good. We are achieving CAGR of 17% and more over the period of last 9 years. We have achieved 105 billion of electronics manufacturing, and out of that, we are also touching 24 billion of exports. In mobile also, the growth is very rapid, where 43 to 44 billion manufacturing happening in India. Out of that, 18 billion is achieved through exports. So in IT hardware also, we have come up with a new PLI scheme, which is called PLI for IT hardware, and we want to achieve the target that we have set up for 24 billion by FY 2026 with the help of this PLI scheme. So I will give more details of PLI scheme, which open up an opportunity for Taiwanese company again to set up a large manufacturing facility in India. Next. We are very proudly, I want to announce that the PLI scheme for mobile manufacturing, The largest participant is coming from the Taiwanese company. You can see the Apple ecosystem, which is doing a good amount of business in India. It is supported by the 3 Taiwanese companies, the Foxconn, Pegatron, and Wistron. And they are the largest beneficiary of the production link incentive scheme of Government of India. And apart from the 4 companies, rather the 4 Taiwanese company, only 1 company, Samsung, is there in the global category, which is making this manufacturing of mobile phone. Now we are targeting IT hardware production link incentive scheme also, where we are seeing all global brands like Dell, HP, and others are coming. Again, there is a role of Taiwanese company. They can support this PLI IT hardware scheme to provide their electronics manufacturing support to the global OEMs who wants to set up large capacity in India. Next. So we have a lot of electronic clusters in which companies of Taiwanese companies are also there. And you can see with the help of this graph that in every region of the country, we have electronic clusters where good companies are set up, including the Taiwanese company. You can see the logos of Taiwanese company in all region. Next. So we have now come up with a 10 billion package for semiconductors manufacturing also in India. And apart from that, we have 7 billion financial support to provide electronics manufacturing. And then 13 billion of production link incentive schemes are running outside the Ministry of Electronics and IT, supporting advanced chemistry cell, automotive and auto components, telecom and networking, solar PV modules, and white goods. So this is the all flagship program of Government of India for promotion of manufacturing. And the latest 10 billion of semiconductors financial incentive, it's opened up a large opportunity for Indian and Taiwanese company. We all understand that Taiwan is very strong in semiconductor manufacturing, whether it comes for the fab or display for fab or packaging units or any other kind of program, including R&D. So we see a lot of between Indian company and Taiwanese company. And we believe that the fab, compound semiconductor and packaging companies can either set up their facility directly in India and take help of financial support coming from government, or they can form joint venture, or they can provide their technology to any Indian company who want to set up. And in all this journey, we will provide access to the green energy so that the plant which is coming is truly will be able to reduce their carbon emission. And this is not only for the manufacturing facility, it will also support all component manufacturers, those who will move along with the large facility like fab or display unit or packaging unit. So this kind of energy, green energy, can be supplied to all of their components ecosystem players also. And schemes are divided into 3 parts. We are giving on finished goods also, like production link incentive scheme. We are giving for sub-assemblies also, which is capex linked and production link incentive scheme also. And on components also, we are providing capex and production link incentive. So in all categories, we are supporting, and any Taiwanese company are most welcome to take help of these schemes and set up their plants in India. Next. If you see the recently rolled out PLI scheme for IT hardware, we have kept a target of almost more than 2 billion incentive in this. The average incentive which will be offered on finished product price will be more than 5%, and laptop, tablet, all-in-one PC, servers, and ultra small form factor devices are covered under this category. It will create a job, 75,000 direct jobs, and indirect jobs of more than 2 lakhs will be created. Next. In this, the earlier scheme which was there, in which few companies were interested, was only giving incentive of 2.2%. Now we have improved this incentive scheme, and we have removed the bottleneck of mandatory localization. Next. So now this the new scheme provides incentive for optional localization, and more localization you will do, more and more incentive you will get, and there is a lot of flexibility to select the time period of entering into the scheme also. Next. They are the targets for investment and sales that a company has to achieve. There are 3 categories: global category, hybrid category, and domestic category. Depending upon a company's ambition to invest and to produce, they can select the category. Next. And these are the items on which incentives can be offered. So you can see IT hardware items, all items are here, including semiconductor items. So this is giving a hint that if any company is coming and set up their semiconductor facility, either fab or packaging, they will be benefited with the help of this scheme. This also gives support for development and design of processors in India also, apart from the different assembly and components, including PCB, bare PCB, memory, SSD, display, power adapter, charger, etc. All these items are covered into in this PLI IT hardware scheme. Next. So together, India and Taiwan has collaborated in all the schemes of METI. We had earlier MCF scheme in 5 applications of Taiwanese companies were approved. You can see the names here. Again, there is a electronic manufacturing cluster schemes where Taiwanese companies are settled. You can again see the details. And in skilling also, the MOU signed today and the collaboration happening earlier also. We have seen that a lot of skilling activities is happening between the 2 countries. And then in PLI, large scale electronics manufacturing, which is basically a mobile manufacturing, you can see the names of 4 companies out of 5 companies participating in the global category. Next. In semiconductor, there's a huge incentive from government side, and to support the components which is required for semiconductors and electronics manufacturing, there is another scheme which is called SPECS, where government is providing 25% capital-based subsidy. So a few Taiwanese companies are in discussion with METI, and hopefully they will avail the benefit. And we are extending the scheme also further to include all semiconductor items, including chemical, gases, materials, equipment, R&D, and other things. Next. We believe that India will be having a requirement of 110 billion of semiconductor by 2030. And these are the different breakup of the requirements. It will be 10 to 11% of global requirement in 2030. So to meet this requirement, the government of India has launched Semicon India program. Next, in which we are providing almost more than 70% of the incentive. 50% is directly coming from central government, and more than 20% is coming from state government. The central government subsidy is on pari passu basis, meaning that it is concurrent. If a project cost is 100 million and 5 million is put by a company, then the government of India will also put up 5 million to start the project, and then subsequently whatever the amount will be committed in the bank account by the company, it will be matched by the government of India. It's called pari passu basis financial support from government side. Many state governments are also providing pari passu. Some of them are providing reimbursement basis, and some of them are providing mix of both. So altogether, the financial support is more than 70%, and a company will also only have to bring less than 30%. And this support is available for semiconductor fab, display fab, ATMP, SAT, compound semiconductors fab, MEMS, sensor and discrete devices. For all these things, this kind of facility is available. And we have another scheme called Design Link Incentive to support semiconductor startups, where 50% support is given from the POC stage, proof of concept stage, to finally making of a semiconductor design, including testing and other things. And EDA tool support is also provided from government side as an infrastructure support through cloud. And then the device is totally ready for deployment. Then deployment link incentive of 4 to 6% is also available over the period of 5 years. So this is the details of semiconductor incentive scheme, where a lot of synergy is there between India and Taiwanese companies to collaborate. Next. So we are also requesting Taiwanese company like potential partner TSMC, UMC, PSMC, and then in display also EU Optronics, Innolux, and Star. In packaging also ASC, Power Chip, and others. And in compound semiconductor also, these are the companies where I think a lot of synergy and a lot of collaboration opportunities. Next. To support semiconductor system, we are also developing talent base in India. We have revised our curriculum. We are also going to set up a research roadmap in India for semiconductor R&D. And we are also developing ecosystem around the fab and packaging units that will be coming in India. And we think that we both can have a strategic partnership, the Indian company and the Taiwanese company, for a sustainable future. And I also request the Taiwanese company who are very strong in battery R&D and battery manufacturing to also set up their facility in India, so that the variable nature of renewable energy can be balanced and a more green and sustainable future can be seen in India, which will not only help India but outside world also. Next. So with this, I request all the Taiwanese companies, please make India as your second home. We are very, very supportive. We like to support you in all endeavors. All kind of handholding and facilitation will be provided by my ministry, whether you want to set up electronics or semiconductor facilities in India. Once again, thank you for calling me for this session. And I believe there's a lot of hope for sustainable future together with Taiwanese and Indian companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha, for your insightful talk. Next, let's hear from Dr. Mingshan Zheng, Deputy General Director of Green Energy and Environment Research Laboratories of ITRI, to talk about green small city development trend in Taiwan. Let's welcome Dr. Zheng.
Good afternoon, everyone. I can't recall all the names and the name card I have exchanged. I'm sorry for that, but good afternoon. And it's a pleasure to come over to have a very brief introduction on Taiwan's green energy development. So my name is Min Sham. I'm from the Green Energy Lab in ITRI. I believe many of them have heard ITRI before, but I think for those of you are not familiar with ITRI, I have a few slides. Briefly introduce ITRI. Perhaps I should move this stand a little bit that way. Yeah. Is that better for you? Okay. So ITRI was founded in 1973. It was basically a not-for-profit research organization. So we were supported by the government and funded like 40 years ago. Okay. So I didn't do that. So I didn't touch anything. Okay. Okay. Now, but today I think roughly 40% of ITRI's research funding is from private sector. So we are pretty much application research oriented. Right now, we have more than 6,000 research staffs and plus 2,000 contract workers, interns, consultants, etc. So the total number of people working in ITRI is roughly 8,000. And we own about 30,000 patents. We also encourage spin-off company startup from ITRI. So right until this year, I think in the past 40 or 50 years, there were 157 startups from ITRI. And many of them are now leading companies in their respective areas. One very prominent example everybody would just like to talk about is TSMC, of course. But there are totally, so far, there are 38 out of these 157, 38 of them have issued IPO. They are public traded on the market right now. We have also global outreach. So not only in Taiwan, we have several campuses in Taiwan, but we also have office in Japan, Berlin, and in North America. Okay, now let me talk about green energy trend in Taiwan. This is the energy situation in Taiwan now. We have roughly 97% of the energy is imported, mostly fossil fuel. So, and in terms of power generation, we only have 8% from renewable energy, and all the other power generations are actually by burning fossil fuel. So, which is not very good, right? So, But the government announced 2 years ago, in 2021, the government announced that net zero emissions in 2050 will be Taiwan's target. So since then, many departments and agencies in the government were mobilized to come up with a plan. How can we move from today to a net zero in 2050? So the National Development Council announced our very detailed plan or roadmap a couple months ago. So this slide is kind of a summary of the entire plan. In 2019, roughly half of the carbon emission is from power generation, and the other half from industrial manufacturing and transportation, etc. So, but in 2050, this part of power generation has to be decarbonized 100%. And noted that the overall electricity is growing. The overall electricity consumption is growing because of things like electrical vehicle, things like the growth in industry, etc. So, although the entire electricity section is growing, it has to be decarbonized 100%. And that, of course, has to be, you must have a portfolio of different electricity supply. 60 to 70% must be from renewables, mostly from wind and solar. I will talk about that later. And we also need hydrogen. That will account for 9 to 12% of our electricity generation in 2050. And we still need gas power plant. We can't get rid of them. We still need them. But we are going to implement CCUS in gas power plant. And that will account for 20 to 27% of electricity generation in 2050. And we also need hydrogen in some of the industrial manufacturing process, especially in steel manufacturing, and also in some petrochemical companies. There are some part of the emissions from industry that cannot be eliminated entirely. And for that part, you have to offset using negative carbon or carbon sinks. So we are going to have CCUS plus biomass, things like that. So that is kind of a very brief summary of our roadmap toward 2050. But to implement that roadmap, the government announced 12 key strategies, I think earlier this year. So that these 12 key strategies, including renewables such as wind and solar, and strategy of hydrogen, innovative energy, power system and storage, energy saving, efficiency, CCUS, these electrical vehicles, and so on and so on. So there are also some things like green finance, green lifestyle, and also carbon sinks. So roughly half of these 12 strategies are somehow directly related to energy. And therefore, energy transition is actually a central part of our net zero transition. And so in the following slides, I'm going to explain in some of the details of these energy strategy. And every single strategy is now becoming a major program or major project in the central government. Okay, let me start from offshore wind. Right now, we have accomplished 3 offshore wind in Taiwan. They are all in Taiwan Strait. The total capacity of these 3 wind farms is 613 megawatt. But noted that these 2 of them were actually finished during pandemic. So you can imagine the difficulty during pandemic. You cannot have foreign vessels coming to Taiwan. You cannot have foreign workers, foreign technicians. It's very, very difficult. But still, we managed to finish 2 offshore wind during pandemic. But since now pandemic is over, we expect a very rapid growth of offshore wind in Taiwan. And in 2025, we're going to have 5.6 gigawatt. By 2050, the target is 40 to 50 gigawatt. And if you consider the capacity factor, something like 45 to 50% of offshore wind in Taiwan. So this translates to roughly 20-something gigawatt of power generation, net power generation. And that compares to what we have today in Taiwan. The total power capacity in Taiwan is 40 gigawatt, roughly. The peak power, peak demand is 40 gigawatts. So this is going to be a very significant part of our power generation in 2050. And the next one is solar. Again, we see very rapid growth. If you compare the installation capacity in last year, the accumulated capacity in last year, comparing to what we had in 2015, we saw a growth of 10 times in terms of capacity. So that's a very rapid growth. And we see not only rooftop type of solar photovoltaic, there are also many ground type photovoltaic. And recently we are going to plan a demonstration of floating type, even offshore floating type solar photovoltaic. So the target in 2050 is 40 to 80 gigawatt of solar photovoltaic. But of course, the capacity factor of solar is not that good, normally 15 to 20%. So this translates to roughly 10 to 15 gigawatt of net power generation, but still a very significant part in power sector. And for hydrogen, so as I mentioned, hydrogen will take about 8, 9, 10% of our power generation, so it's still very significant. And for the supply, we plan to import green hydrogen in the beginning and gradually move toward domestically produced hydrogen because we expect some surplus in offshore wind generation after 2040 or 2050. So we should be able to generate some of the green hydrogen domestically. We are now assessing the infrastructure. One possibility to use the existing natural gas infrastructure to use them for hydrogen purpose. So we are doing the assessment, and hopefully that could be done. And for applications, we are looking into fuel cell applications, and also in some of the industrial process, and replace burning fossil fuel with burning hydrogen. So in some of the slides, I will just give you some example of ITRI's research, ITRI's innovation in technology. So this is one example regarding hydrogen. We are developing a very good membrane that can purify hydrogen. So it's a sandwich a new type of sandwich layered membrane structures with palladium in the middle. So the innovation here is this layered structure, so that allows a very high permeability of hydrogen and reduce the cost a lot because we use only very little amount of palladium. So this membrane can generate very high purification hydrogen up to 9N. So we are now trying this. We set up a demonstration purifier in a semiconductor fab, trying to recycle the hydrogen in the fab so that somehow reduce carbon emission. We are also using this to separate tail gas. Okay, so one strategy is called innovate energy. In that strategy, we look into things like geothermal, marine energy, and biomass. So for geothermal, we are now optimize the legal environment because right now applying for geothermal power plant is somehow complicated in our legal system. So we are trying to optimize them and to increase drilling capacity in Taiwan because we do have some geothermal power potential in Taiwan because we are on the Pacific Rim region. So, but the problem is we don't have too many drilling companies here. So we are promoting people to import those drilling machines to accelerate the geothermal power plant development. And also for marine energy, the government has a feed-in tariff for marine energy right now, starting last year. So to encourage people to invest in marine energy, and also for biomass. We don't have much land to grow biomass in Taiwan. So the one possibility is to import from Southeast Asia. That's possible. But also we need some innovations here. For example, algae, growing algae in Taiwan, that's possible. So all different type of possibilities here. This is a technology example from ITRI. So we work on very accurate exploration and detection. We have our own drilling machine or drilling equipment so that we can do very accurate geological modeling. That's very important. That somehow reduce the risk of developing geothermal power plant. We also have very good detection technology. We can monitor the fluid flow underground very accurately so that you know where to drill to find a geothermal power. We also develop our own machines such as power generation machines. It's called ORC, Organic Rankine Cycle Generators. We also develop smart operation and maintenance technologies. This is very important because many of the power plant, geothermal power plant, are in very remote area, in mountain areas. It's not very easy to assess. Therefore, you would like them to be very autonomous. And using those intelligent technology, you can pre-diagnose or predict the failure of certain components so that you can arrange the maintenance and so on. Sort of a sidetrack. It's not about energy, but it slides here anyway. It's a kind of telling you how serendipity or how innovation can come from different ways. Now, it's just a very interesting thing that, remember I told you I told you that we do geothermal exploration, right? And in one of the drilling well, we discover a very unique bacterial strain. And that bacterial strain, the metabolite from that bacterial strain happened to be very good in skincare and to burn your hair. Yeah, it's just interesting. And it has been proven for safety and everything. We are now we are now finding partners to move this to the market. So just not energy, but very interesting technology from geothermal energy research. Okay, for energy storage, the target in 2025 is 1.5 megawatt. And this is also important because all these wind farms and those photovoltaic are not stable energy. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We have to. Yeah. Wow. Okay, now let's move on. So, remember I said our total peak capacity right now is 40 gigawatt. And we plan to have 1.5 gigawatt of energy storage. That is for battery. We do have other forms of storage like pump hydro, those kind of things. But for battery, the plan is to have 1.5 gigawatt in 2025. That's within the next 2 or 3 years. And one gigawatt is for the grid, and 500 watt for power type, 500 megawatt for energy type. And we also need 500 watt to combine with the solar power plant. So that is power generation from solar energy combined with its own energy storage by battery. We also provide incentives to the end users to encourage them. I got 3 minutes left. Oh, I'm sorry. I will just skip some of them. Yeah, this one can be skipped. Energy saving and efficiency. That is also a very crucial strategy in net zero transition. So we're going to have 2 phases of development. In the first phase, we pretty much focus on the regulation and standards that improve the energy efficiency standards. And then we are looking into some innovations here so that we can promote those innovative technology after 2030. So that's the plan, 2-stage development. I'll give you one technology example from ITRI. This is, imagine you go into a building, you want to do energy diagnosis, you want to see how the energy consumption in the building are. And the first thing you would do is to install power meter, right? You install power meter in the panel to see which equipment consumes how much energy and when does they consume the energy and so on. So that's the first thing you do with power management system. But the problem is that power meter is normally expensive and sometimes they could be bulky. And most of the panels look like this. It's very crowded. You don't have place to put in to power meters. So this is what we invented. We call it tap sensor. It's a tap. You can tap it and attach it to the wire without any metallic contact. You don't have to contact. You just attach it. And with this, we can measure current, measure power consumption, measure power factor very precisely, up to 99% accuracy. So this is some examples. We install this in our panel. So you can install this in any kind of panel, even very crowded panel. So this is a kind of innovation from ITRI. We are now transfer this technology to one local manufacturer so they can manufacture and mass produce this sensor in Taiwan now. CCUS, I think I just skipped this one because I have a video in the end of the slides. Okay, just another technology example from ITRI. CCUS, we work. Okay, I'll just skip this one. I can, but I want to, but I do want to spend 1 minute to show you the video. Okay, that's it's a video about our technology demonstration site in Sharun. It's in the southern part of Taiwan, where we put everything together: the renewable energy, energy saving, energy efficiency, and so on. So we put all them together in our campus. It's a living lab, so that people can use the technology, to test the technology, to experience the technology in the campus. Yeah, that's the video.
To promote the innovative smart green energy industry, this site integrates energy creation, conservation, storage, and smart systems, provides green energy R&D, testing, and verification. The lab building features offices and commercial services. The pilot plant features 6-meter-tall ceiling floors with high load capacity and an outdoor PV zone for a long-term experimentation. The center serves as a technology demonstration and education platform for promoting energy transformation. The demonstration community shows various energy-saving scenarios. The Spin Lab is the first platform in the subtropical countries for testing energy-saving buildings. A tree-shaped solar power system represents economy, environment, and education. Stored solar energy presents a light show at night.
Yep, that's it. That's the campus we plan to, allow us to better link with the industry. So everybody's welcome to visit that campus. I'll be very happy to host you there. And thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chen. Thank you for your informative keynote. Thank you. And then before we move on to the next presentation, we will have 8 minutes break. So for the second half of the event, we'll hear from 2 more speakers and a panel discussion. So please be back on time. Thank you.
Okay. So I am audible, na sir? Okay, fine. And you are able to see me also? Video is not required. Okay, video will only come when
true radiance.
Thank you so much. It's much easier to be here than to disturbing everybody.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Do you want to use the microphone?
yeah, this one is working.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. A very good afternoon after the short break. And we have got a long list of dignitaries, but I must recognize at least Dr. Lee, CEO, who has been instrumental in doing these activities and always been a good friend. Thank you. Then we have got Mr. Lin, Chair of Twin Society. It's a very good beginning, and it was nice to hear you, sir. Mr. Das has just left us because of some engagement. It was very nice to hear about the Indian-Taiwan cooperation he's leading to. We have heard Mr. Mitesh Kumar Sinha, Joint Secretary MeitY, who has enlightened us with a lot of policies and everything which the Government of India is doing for some time. And he has been author. A lot of people will not know the PLI policy, which has been just rolled out, and he's heading it. And it addresses the large manufacturing, which is the focus of the government. And you have already seen Taiwan is a great partner there. So I will welcome all of you. And in my journey, I will just tell a little about the FITA, what FITA is all about. And then we'll move forward towards the other part of the industry, which Mr. Mitesh Sinha has not touched. That is the large consumer base what India has with the 140 billion consumers, and how they are using the IT in their daily lives, how government is activating them to use the IT, and how industry is cooperating with them, and how the growth is going to work with them, and how what is the opportunity there. So FITA is a federation of all India IT associations, and it is one of its largest of its kind. We have got almost 100 associations across India covering each district, and it works like an umbrella body for each of them. So I will be talking about the FITA. What I talk about the general consumer penetration, that is the introduction of the Indian's market potential, mainly focused on the consumer side of the thing. Then industry readiness. I will be focusing more on the other industry, which is the MSME, startups, which is Mr. Mitesh Sinha has left over there. And at the conclusion, how the industry is going to cooperate, what is the cooperation we will have with Taiwan, we can have with Taiwan, and what are the opportunities there. It's not working? So about the FITA, as I told you, it's a national platform which works with all the over 100 associations across the country, with the 40,000 members across country, and we work with each of associations very closely. The flourish, knowledge, networking, strength and protection. This is the basic agenda which we have adopted from one of our member associations. A lot of members are here from FITAG, that is the Gujarat associations. This agenda was association adopted from them and works towards the development of the IT entrepreneurs across the country, providing them all the opportunities, reaching out to them, increasing their knowledge, networking, working on their strength, and protecting them from the different difficulties. So now I'll go to the India's market potential. Yeah, one more thing, our founder president is here now, Mr. Champakji. I was just waiting for you to come. Yes, yes. So introduction of India's market potential. So India, as everybody knows, is one of the fastest growing large economies now. We are number 4 in the world. Population of 104 billion people. Till today, only 10% of the household have got computers. So the opportunity you can see. Significant progress in technology and innovation has happened in past few years. Home to large pool of young talent. That is one of our largest assets, which we have to capitalize. Now, another potential which we have and we are working on as an industry is India to become a repair hub for the country, for the world. For the sustainability, repairing is important now and is part of the green calendar. So India has got a potential to be a repair hub for the world, and a lot of industry bodies are working towards it, including FITA. Industry initiative, we are working with the government. Like as a social sector, we have got a right to education, right to health. We are asking government to make a right to have a device. Because all the government schemes in India for the 140 billion people towards the, which are directed towards the health, towards the number of things, education, payments, everything is now driven digitally in India. So there is to be a policy which we are working towards is the right to device. And you can imagine the market size once this policy in the place. So this is how we have seen in the segment of PC, desktop, notebook, workstation, tablets, and server. Continuous growth, continuous opportunity. And this graph, if I show you after 2 years, it's going to beat our projections, what we have seen. Then that is the type of growth we are having. So that is a huge opportunity again here. We have got a great visionary leader, Mr. Narendra Modi, who has been driving this as the Prime Minister of country, who has been driving this agenda of digital economy, smart cities, and all those things. So we are very sure as an industry that we are going to beat these numbers given by the government and going much beyond that. So as I said, there is a penetration of computers in Indian household. Only 10% Indian household has got access. Urban area penetration is 23% versus rural area of 4%. Now the India, the way it is moving, there is going to be very, very small gap between the two, urban and rural. The 5G network, the way it has progressed in India, nobody can see it. All the small villages, all the small towns, they are being covered by the network. The optic fiber cables reaching to the small villages, towers reaching to the small villages, you can see it happening every day. So this gap of 23 and 4, this is going to be fulfilled very soon, giving a huge opportunity again. There is a huge income increase, per capita income increase in India, giving a lot of buying power. So the spending on the IT and electronics and devices, all the things combined, is going to be very high. Then this market size is definitely going to increase towards the manufacturing. Such a huge consumer base definitely is going to lead towards the huge market size. So development has to come from the industry within the country. And we have got 2 initiatives which Make in India, which came during the COVID period because the supply chain was disrupted. So that is the vision program of Government of India. Huge number of MSME units, startups are focused towards that. And they all need collaborations, they all need technology, they all need support systems, logistics, everything to grow. So there is another opportunity on that. Then, as I told you, digital penetration is going to help bridge the divide between urban and rural areas. The Government of India's Ayushman scheme. Ayushman is a health scheme directed towards the population of 80 billion, huge population, who get the free health. And that scheme is a 100% digital scheme, working towards our UPIs and the Aadhaar system, which is the UID system. So that is, again, a huge advantage for us, for as an industry, to go meet that demand and produce the products for that. So this is how the digital payment has, you can see the figures, huge, much bigger than the economy of many countries. 180 billion value and 83.75 billion transactions happening digitally. And this number is going 20% every year. You can see the market potential for the digital devices. Value of digital payment is expected to give 20% from 2023 to 2027. This means the digital devices have to be doubled in 4 years, if you result into that. Number of digital payments, 15%, that is the volume of the numbers of the payment, that was the value of the payment. Again, in 4 years, number of devices have to be doubled for this. Sitting on such a large base, when you double the things in 15% every year, number of devices will be doubling. AI, another thing which Taiwan is very focused on it. India is also very focused. And India is focused also towards the benefiting the common people about it. So Indian government want to have given us a target, become a global AI leader by 2025, using the huge technical base. This is the target given to the industry. AI market is expected to reach 15 billion by 2025, growth rate of 35%, unheard of. No country, no economy can think of these numbers of 35% growth. Same is the wearable. 2022 wearables saw the growth of 47%, shipment of 100 million units. And a smart wearable market is fragmented with Google, number of companies, plus number of MSME brands. That is a very, very important feature. Because these MSC brands, they are going to multiply. The bigger numbers of the large brands, they are going to stay the same. But these MSME assembling units, they are going to grow much, much faster, and many brands are going to come. And there's an opportunity for the Taiwan companies to come and support them. This is the overall digital governance, which gives the lot of advantage from the social sector. Active intelligent user, 692 million. Number of digital transactions, 85 billion. Number of trained beneficiary digital literacy, 6.5 million. Share of agriculture mandis enrolled in e-market. Agriculture mandis is the place where the agriculture products are sold off. And now, as I've told you before, the rural and the urban markets, they are not going to be very different now. And you can see the numbers there and see the growth there. Total number of common service centers. Like we are having the different setups. They support the common men towards the reaching out to the government policies, government payments, their identification numbers, and for all sorts of things. So these are the common service centers, 5.1 million across the country, who are the digitally equipped, and they are serving the people and supporting the people. So all the people they are supporting, definitely they are going to have their own devices soon. So these are the digital governance initiatives which are basically leading to the digital revolution in the country. Digital locker, another new initiative. Every citizen wants to have that in country. You have got number of documents like UID numbers, which are the identification number of the country. You have got income tax numbers, you have got a taxation numbers, you have got different type of registrations. Everything can be safely kept into digital locker. On one click of the button, anywhere in the world, you have got access to it. So every citizen of the country needs it, and he wants to have it. So this is the aspiration of the people, which will lead to the demand. Unified payment interface. As I showed you before, the numbers of it. Again, the huge demand generator. Everything, every transaction you will see happening on the system, on the mobile. Common service centers, I have already explained you how they are working towards the millions of life of the changing millions of people. This is another area of growth. 100 smart cities across the country. If you talk of a smart city in Taiwan or in developed cities, transition is not that much happening. But when you start from a small city in India and you look it for a smart city, the transformation is 1,000 times. Starting from the small roads to pavements to electricity, everything. Everything is changing over there. So a lot of digitization there. Indian smart city market is valued at 65 billion in 2022. 25% growth we are estimating current year. And it will grow. Because every year cities are adding as well as the market is adding. So a lot of place for the AI over there. Now I'll come to the industry readiness. Government has given several schemes, a lot of things Mr. Mitesh has already explained. Now, implementation of the GST. It was a huge issue in Indian government and Indian industry, having different number of taxes. Customs, excise duty, number of taxes were there. So this one common tax replaced everything. No octroys, no state taxes, no excise duties. So even the small industry gets the whole advantage. Whole number of inputs at one place. Huge revolution for the country. Make in India campaign. It's a double advantage theory. One is you increase the job opportunities, increase the income of the people, they spend more. Second, economic growth. Third, it gives a lot of opportunity for the collaborations. The thing which is 100% imported till now, if it is manufactured in India, definitely the import of technology, import of manpower, import of raw material, and the collaborations will start happening. So these are the key schemes which have been promoted in last 4 years, and most of them during the pandemic, when the program of Make in India was launched. And all of them already started showing the result. They are all showing the results. And now after the PLI has come into 2020, and the new scheme just rolled out a week back, 2022. And new PLI, which was not disclosed by the Joint Secretary, is the PLI we are going to happen in component manufacturing in India. And that will be the largest revolution in IT industry. Once we have the collaborations and the manufacturing of the component in India, designing work will start with the component availability. So there will be development, there will be opportunities into product designing, PCB designings, and also the manufacturers will get easier raw material sourcing. So the logistics will also improve over there. These are the additional steps which the government of India and the industry, they are discussing about it, and they are very soon going to happen. These are the regulatory environment, and what we call it in India is the ease of doing business. India has been getting a bad name about the red tape and other things. So if the industry has to develop, we have to develop together. We have to get out of it. And we have been moving towards it with a very fast pace. So simplifying the regulatory environment issues were huge. Clearances were not coming. So under the ease of doing business program, single space building window has been created. You can go, log in there, your licenses, your clearances, your EPR, which is the Produce Waste Management System, everything, all guidelines at one place, and your license is cleared in a week. It's a great advantage there for the new industry and the new development. Infrastructure support. Amitesh ji has shown you the every state map, India map, where the clusters are coming up. But they are not the only. Like in my state, Uttar Pradesh, which is near the Delhi, one cluster was shown by him in Noida. There are 6 more clusters which are coming up by the state government. And similarly, the state of Telangana, state of Tamil Nadu, number of states, they are having a huge cluster system. So the large manufacturers can be there, supported by the small companies as an ancillary, and they can work very well together. Export promotion. So all these PLI schemes which you have seen, they are linked with the export target. And that is the result today Apple is being exported from India. Number of phone models, they are exported from India. So the PLI scheme is working very well towards promoting the exports, and further growth is going to happen. Now what we are offering to the industry as a collaborator. Cheap manpower. And not only cheap, it's educated, skilled manpower, which you can compare with any country in the world. If you talk of your neighborhood, I think we are at the 1/3 cost. And much more technical people, much more educated people. Cheaper production cost, infrastructure is cheap, affordable than any other competition. So we are ready to replace anybody of them. rapidly growing economy with advancing technology. So our economy is very, very different. We are also creating demand. And we are also creating resources to fulfill that demand. So industry has got a double advantage. Some countries who are producing more, they don't have a place to sell, they don't have a place to consume. They have to go to the export market. With a huge large population and the huge consumption internally, we have got advantage of both of it. So for every producer, there is advantage there. And very friendly government policies. Government is proactive, working with the industry. And one more thing I would like to tell you about it, is very interesting. Any policy which government is rolling out is being shared with the industry bodies. FITA is also participating in a number of them. We have got other industry representatives, they will also vouch for it. So the draft policy comes to the industry. They are being debated, discussed, and then only they are implemented. So the policy making has become a very, very positive. And where the Taiwan can participate with us. And this is, I will say, especially into MSME and startup segment. Mentoring startups. FITA can partner with you with number of associations, number of departments you have in the mentoring of a startup. We can vouch for these startups as an association, bring you them, decide on the numbers, that 10 startups start with or 20 startups, you can mentor them. Training. We are prepared to send our people here to learn electronic manufacturing, to learn how the things are done, what are the process controls. Because Taiwan is famous for one thing, and we are proud of it. That is the quality. And we don't want to make rubbish. So if the Taiwan is prepared for the training part, we are prepared to send the people here. And even the online trainings can be worked out. Joint venture for the mid-component manufacturing. That is again a huge opportunity for the new MSMEs who are coming up. Participation of industry level and increasing B2B meetings on predefined projects. FITA have identified number of projects where we have got entrepreneurship who is ready to engage on that. We can write to TATRA, TCA, that these are the industry segments, and we can have a B2B meeting with the entrepreneurs where we can work together. TCA can help with sourcing of components for the Indian manufacturers. There is only one source of components today. We are looking for the others. Quality is not assured. We want a better quality product, maybe a bit expensive, don't mind. But we went to hand-holding there. So TCA can very well do this and support to us. So that is another space where we want your support. And we can assure you our commitment to it, that we can work together. So thank you. See you in India with the setting up of a new joint ventures. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Lestogi, for your informative presentation. Please back to your seat. Next, we have Mr. Navlatan Kadalia, Director of NASCOM Center of Excellence IoT, to share his insight on the role of innovation in making India greener. Let's welcome.
Thank you. If Mr. Rastogi says that repair hubs is the hub for India, you generate so much of hardware, okay? No matter how much Mr. Tripathi educates and trains them, tomorrow we do not want to have a Samsung only store which only services Samsung or LG services. You need to train a lot of people. You will, with all these people invited over there, AI will have to come in over there to train a person who can repair any kind of brand of, say, laptop for the sake of example. Mr. Sinha said, come to India. Enjoy India as your second home. Where is this chef? I mean, we all love our own food, right? You can't export a lot of Taiwanese chef to India and vice versa. We have a lot of startups wanting to come here, but they are wondering where to get Indian restaurants here. right? And vegetarian food, right? We need AI for that. So with that, let me start. What we try to do is bring the innovation part of it, and I'll stick to the green part of it. What we are doing is we are also blessed by 3 parents: the Ministry of Electronics and IT, the state governments we are in, and the industry. What I am going to skip a lot of these data, which probably 3 of these speakers have said, but since I spent a lot of, in fact, a few decades into clean tech and digital innovation, these numbers really are required to be noted, that when we became the 4th largest global renewable energy capacity country, there were problems. I must say that we have not been popular when it comes to hardware. But when it comes to software, so that's a very good thing. I mean, if you look at globally, there's a complementary thing that we can do with Taiwan and India. And what we are trying to do is now EV. And EV is not only hardware anymore. If you look at it, it's not the Fords and the General Motors which will be making EVs. It will be new guys, new kids on the block which will start making it, because it's not very complex as it used to be in IC engines. So where is the kind of technology, kind of innovations, where's the software application part of it? All that we'll have to be discussing. These are the challenges that we refer to the green growth. These are
सर इसके बाद हमारा है, इसी 10 बाद हमारा सेशन
almost every corner of the world is either flooding or drought or food starvation or wars. All of these will require a lot of thinking in the climate conservations. And I think for example, ITRA is doing a lot of wonderful things in that area on the hardcore engineering areas of technologies, where we bring into innovation are like this. Some of the Indian startups sitting here are, what can you be supported in the core areas of technology development? How can digital innovation support those R&Ds, those designs, those quick iteration procedures? I'll give you an example of a palladium membrane to do the hydrogen, right? You will require probably 200 iterations before you get into that. And we have seen that in the vaccine development today. How quickly the vaccine was developed for COVID was because there was a lot of AI engine working in pharma companies. And this is what I say is same going to happen in the green technologies. We need to support ITRI kind of organizations to develop these technologies. Of course, there are a good number of policies which have made India as a very lucrative market and a point where you should come and develop. And when I say come, we are looking at bilateral. And me and TCA are almost the same kind of. We are known in India, I'm known as Pandit Navratan. Pandit is a word called priest. What does a priest do? Matchmaking. So we do matchmaking of the people who can provide solutions and the people who can adopt it. And it has to flow bilaterally. Innovations have to cross boundaries. No country today can say, my innovation will be developed here and will be used here. He is talking some nonsense. That country's innovations have to cross boundaries for market, for funding, for a lot of other use cases that will come in. Government of India's EV policies, I'm just taking some of them. There's a lot of innovations which are happening, but policy level intervention is definitely a must. And a lot of those things I have been doing. In fact, I must say that gentlemen like Mr. Das, every year we get 5 ambassadors in our office to tell them what government can do from the innovators' world to make e-governance better, right? And they use that knowledge to export what used to be IT export of India. Now it's innovation export of India. We are the 3rd largest innovation center in the world in terms of unicorns and the number of startups. Collaborations, and I'm just skipping a lot of these slides because it's been talked about a lot in the beginning. We signed these agreements, and these agreements are good starting point, I think, but we have a lot of homework to do. Let me tell you very frankly, the speed that we are running in past traditional 3-4 decades is not enough. And we have challenges and we have opportunities. The opportunities, if we have more investments, and when it comes to investments, it's not only money, it's kind of people who have to travel both sides. If it's the type of technologies and manufacturing skills which have to travel across the boundaries. We will, since I come from the startup world, I will be talking about what happens in some of these areas which are reflecting to the topic of the day, which is green. We have done so much of solar, and so much of solar could not have been done if it didn't have the proper SCADA systems to monitor them. Wind technology was one of the very few and the earliest users of a lot of data. Now, unfortunately, that data is like just there. What do we do with it? How do we take insights out of it? So there's a lot of data crunching to be done. There's a lot of AI to run, and that helps a lot of wind, solar, and the grid, which may be thermal, nuclear, or this, to talk to each other. Because if the thermal has to say, look, I will be reducing because now you're generating, but the solar goes down and the sun goes down. But not only that, it's the industry's consumers which go up and down. So how do you let them talk to each other is a very, very big challenge. And if we have an overcapacity in the system or an undercapacity, it's not making economic sense. So we need to have a lot of innovations in these areas which have been traditionally left out, I must say, across the boundaries. Wind turbines, while we are talking offshore and onshores, these are all gigawatt levels now. Each turbine is 2, 3, 4 megawatts each, right? We have to make sure that the evaluation of the wind sites and the power evacuations are done with the help of some innovative tools which can be built out by some of the young guys. If we have to produce from rooftops, today rooftop, even though there's a big target in India, rooftop has been challenged because if I have to go and sell it to Mr. Lee, I'll take 3 visits to go to his house, measure, see the shadow analysis, and convince him that it makes economic sense for him. Those 3 visits of mine are adding cost to what I sell to him. Can I do it all electronically, digitally? Can I send some kind of a stuff which monitors his shadow analysis on the roof and then send him a digital quotation, and he is willing to compare it with 3 other digital quotations, techno-commercially viable, and then place an order. Now, if those things can be done, a lot of digitally things, I think rooftops can pick up. Ideally, rooftop for industries is good because those are the highest paying consumers in the country. Almost every country has the highest paying from the industry. We have portable micro wind turbines from all these companies. I must say these have been again kind of Fraunhofer's and the ITRI's guys who have developed these kind of technologies. They've been used by these technocrats. What we are trying to look at is, can we optimize a lot of things? If we are talking of green, optimization of both generation as well as the consumption has to be done. And I liked one of the gentlemen said, life science changes. If we change some of these habits, it's equally important to do that, because today if food is left in the plate, if water is not conserved, if electricity is just unused, is used properly, that's a sheer wastage of it. And I think there are figures which say whatever you save is like income, right, or is energy generation. We have people now who's talking of air to water generating. Now look at the situation. In fact, somebody said in India that the next war will be because of the water. Energy could still be generated, and where do you get water from? And today we have flood and drought all coming in cycles. Now these guys are doing, and they'll be raising money because they think that this is not too far that we will have to actually draw water out of the air. And this is likely to happen. Look at electric conversion kits. I mean, we're talking of EVs. Where do you get the batteries and lithium from? You know, our neighbors will not sell it so cheap a few years down the lane. So can we have conversion kits of all those two-wheelers optimized to the frame and the sitting capacity of that particular two-wheeler, converted to EV, again coming back to the digital. If I bring her scooter to my garage and then wait for 10 days to assess what kind of motor, battery, BMS will this particular scooter be able to accept, I think she's not going to give me her order, right? What I have to do is, before she comes, she says, this is my model, this is the type of scooter I have. Can you give me a kit? And I'm an assembler, I'm an aggregator. I say, you come over here in 3 hours, we'll pack it up back to become it an EV. If that is what she can have, I think I'll be converting a lot of these IC engine based two-wheelers already existing in the market, because if we just throw all of them, we'll again have this dumping and waste management issue. So we will have to look at practical areas. Water recycling. Water again is my favorite, because today a lot of water is wasted. A lot of water is unused properly. If we do not wake up now, and I'm thinking this is a global challenge. This is not something unique to us or you. We will have to learn from each other how we can collaborate on kind of water recycling startups. And let me tell you, we started 30 years back a biomass big program. And it didn't really work out well, because the temperature, the acidity of all the ingredients changed very often, and it failed. Today, IoT and AI devices can actually do this. We have waste recycling guys who have done reasonably well, but you know where we fail, and I must agree that hardware is our biggest challenge, and that is where Taiwan should come in as a collaborative partner. All of these guys need hardware, and a pure hardware doesn't sell anymore. It has to have a firmware, it has to have software application and all that. And that's where I think we need to do a lot of work. Green technologies, we have all kinds of green machines. Green hydrogen, we have talked about it. A lot of the startups are trying. We're trying graphene and aluminum fuel cell technologies. Again, ITRI will have to come in together with us and do something equally important. A lot of things are happening in this area. This is the last that we are an incubator and accelerator, but we talk a little more on the digital side, not the material science or the chemistry part of it. So that's not our core strength. We have done almost 300 plus industry adoptions, and our biggest strength is the adoption of innovation. This is the final slide, which says that yes, if you do not have all these things, these targets met, we have some problems. So let's wake up and let's collaborate. And I think there's a lot of room to do with the TC and the other organizations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And then we think right now we need to move on. Next part. So next we want to invite Mr. Navigatan Kataria, and thank you for his presentation. And right now we want to move on to the panel discussion, and this concludes the presentation for today. Now on to our panel discussion. And economic cooperation in trade and investments between India and Taiwan has soared in recent years, having grown nearly sixfold from $1.19 billion to almost $7.7 billion in 2021. With this remarkable surge comes opportunities to be explored by private business of all sectors. With this panel, we hope to share light on some of these opportunities. As with our presentation, I'd like to remind the moderator and the panelists to stay within the time limited and pay attention to our staff at the back of the room. So please allow me to introduce the panel moderator, Dr. Dennis Hu, President of FCCI, onto the stage. Let's welcome Dr. Hu. Thank you, Dr. Hu. Now the floor is yours.
So you just want to introduce myself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a bit lonely, you know. Right? Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I think our MC gave you a very good introduction already. I'm Dennis Hu, So today we got our last panel discussion. I think it's a pleasure, but also a pressure, you know. Yeah. So usually that the last session, everybody needed to be patient. So, but our MC said we have to keep on time, okay? So I think maybe the dinner is served later. So our theme topic today, let's some keyword. Of course, certainly, India, Taiwan is the keyword, but also the other two keywords. One is growth, and other one is synergy. So as we see, listen to many previous speaker already, okay? So we can see the growth in India, no matter in technology, in, you got a lot of the good GDP growth. As far as I know, the UN statistic data, the last year you got a 6.6 economy growth. And this year, it's predicted. Also, now it's, rate hiking, a lot of the inflation. But you still got a 6% increase for prediction, okay? It's forecast by the UN. I think it's a great achievement in the growth of India. That's why I think Taiwan should pay attention about this. This is a good market on that. As our speaker mentioned that, I just take a lot of the photo, So it's a very good data. So you can see a lot of the potential about the market in India, especially to our Taiwanese company, the growth. The second growth is, to the technology, in terms of the technology. I was in the first time to India is back to maybe about 2009, 2008. That time is a bit different, okay? But over 10 years or 20 years growth, I think you got a lot of the good technology there. So it's, I think, a growth, of course, not to mention that now, I think India is the most populous population in the world. Now you got a if I know the number, 1.429 billion population now. Am I right? I think. And it's 40% of your population is under 25 years old. The median age is about 27 years old. I think it's a very potential about the human resources. It's another thing. That's what I said, the synergy. You got a huge potential young worker there. Taiwan only got a 23 million population. So I think this one is another thing we can, synergize. That's the second keyword, synergy. Okay, so the growth and the synergy. So, to talk about the synergy, I think later on we have a panelist. It's a witness for the growth and the synergy in India. And also it's a contributor to the growth in India for the industrialization system and some infrastructure system. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite our panelists to come to the stage. The number one is what I mentioned, Mr. Mark Yang from Advantech, Assistant Vice President for IT, IoT, and AI. Okay, please come to the stage. Thank you. Yeah, take a seat. Yeah, I think we got 3 panelists, right? I see. Okay. Okay. I thought we got 3 chairs. Okay, one's I think it's a long distance. Okay. So the second, please take a seat. Yeah. And others panelists, I would like to say, it's one of the pioneers to work with Taiwan for, I think, maybe 10 or 11, 12 years ago. It's from 90. Dr. Moran Mahan, Madame Mahan, right? Okay, Tripathi, the Deputy, the Director General of the 90 National Institute of the Electronics and the Information Technology from the MIT as well. Okay, so Dr. Tripathi, can I see? Oh, yeah, I can see you, right? Okay, I say hi to you, okay? And the next speaker, next panelist, we have the president of the TATE, the Trade Association for Information Technology. Okay, please come to the stage. Thank you. All right. So please come to the stage. Just take a seat.
Thank you.
As I mentioned
So Dr. Hu, please wait a moment because online right now signal is a little.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe we will talk to him later.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can skip those. I can extend some more minutes, right?
No, we will check again. So later on we will start the online speaking. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So, but anyway, I think Dr. Tripathi can hear, right?
Yes, he can hear, but we can hear him. So
Okay. Okay.
so
No
far.
problem. So, Dr. Tripathi,
It's a long distance, right?
just let me. Originally, I want to my first question addressed to Dr. Tripathi, but I think I will.
But you can just skip it, and later on we just
sure,
go back to the problem. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I think we always have to keep it flexible, especially in the corporation, right? So that's another synergy. We have to synergize everything together and keep growth together. Okay, so I think maybe my first question, first question I would like to address to that our president from Tate, okay? So let me see, okay. In fact, I was in, I think it's Mumbai, right? Mumbai, back to 6 or 7 years ago, I went to your association. I found out you got many companies there doing kind of like a lot of the buy and sell with Taiwanese company. Yes. So I think it's a lot of the great achievement. You got a contributor to the trade cooperation, like our DDG from the Bureau of Foreign Trade. He just mentioned that last year it's about 8.7 billion for the trade. I think it's a lot of the increase. So can you share with us that what do you think? So how to enlarge the trade volume, or from your side, from Indian side, how can Taiwanese company to facilitate you, or maybe to make some more mechanism, okay, for you to purchase more from Taiwan? Okay. It's a good question, right? I
Yes.
think all the company.
Very nice question, doctor. I'm coming to Taipei from last 35 years.
Oh.
So I know Taipei very well, and the people over here, the technology and the way of working is very nice. I'm inviting my friends Taiwanese to come to India. I don't know why they feel shy or language problem or scared. But my country, and especially from Mumbai, we are a financial hub. And we are doing business and growing every year and year, but still not full. I want more and more to come. Because Taiwan and India, the relationship, we are software experts, you are hardware experts, and we both of us go together. And so Taiwanese companies should come to India, and still we can grow 10 times more, 10, 20 times fold, because now the government is also giving PLI, new schemes come. State governments are giving incentives to buy land. In 7 to 8 years, your land will be free. So many incentives, in so many years it was not there. So I thought that it could have not come because of that. But today, it's real, the gate is open now. And Gate of India is in Mumbai. Please come to my country, which is very, very useful for both of us can rule the world if we both join together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think Mr. Gua, right?
Gujar.
Mr. Gujar just mentioned that why is I think we should, in Taiwanese company, we needed to make some more attraction.
Yes.
More attraction, right?
Yes.
So more attraction to attract them to place the order to Taiwan. And
Yes.
I think the attraction included our quality of products.
Yes.
Of course, the
quality,
good
of
price.
course, very nice quality, technology, and all new technology come to Taipei first, and we learn from here and we take it to India.
That's good. And also the good price, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And
So
good people.
Everybody want to that one.
Good
right?
people also.
Yeah. Okay, good people. Yeah. So, okay, thank you. I think I will give you another question later because I really want to know, you say you come to Taiwan for many years. Yes. So what's the most things you would like? You can answer later, okay? This one. This is
privately.
Privately, okay, yeah. So this is another synergy as well, right? So we can do that. All right, okay. So my next question, I think I mentioned that there's a company who witnessed the growth of the India in the last 10 years, 20 years, and is a contributor to India's development, no matter in IoT technology or industrialization, or maybe you can say the state-of-art AI, IoT solution, even a subway system, which is the Advantech. Okay, so I would like to ask our AVP, our Vice President, Yang, to maybe give us some should I ask you that could you share some of your secrets in India for development, or maybe some of your great achievement, so which can symbolize or maybe offer some experiences to our Taiwanese company for the future cooperation development. Mark, please.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, Dr. Gu, actually Mark. So I have several slides that I can share here that shortly. No worry, you can see it. Keep it. Yeah, no worry. Okay, please. Okay, actually, just a few slides to share the experience from Advantech. Take it, please. Yeah, you're our guest. So in terms of Advantech, allow me to a little bit address that what we did in the past 20 years together with the India government and also India industrial, how we are going to step into this India market step by step. So just shortly a brief what we are doing. We are doing same like Pegatron, we are doing the computer. However, our computer is a little bit different from the consumer level or commercial level. Which you mentioned you can address all the outdoor computer, 80% is belong to Advantech. We are worldwide #1, around 41% market share in terms of industrial computer. So we are focused on industrial, embedded, medical, retail, this kind of industrial. In globally, that we have 27 countries, we have 97 offices. In India, we have a Bangalore. In past 20 years, we have built up a Bangalore, Bombay, Pune office. Once upon, we also have a Delhi office too. So we continue our investment and our journey in India step by step. From India government and also the economic situation growth, actually our CAGR is around 20% to 25% per year. Continue. Even last year, we have a very good, significant growth. And combined with the India government, Moody's, we have heard that we have there are more than 100 smart cities. So actually, we partnership with all India big partners and also in different L&T, Reliance, Adani, these kind of companies step into different smart city. As I heard that actually in India, actually you have a different city, have a different smart level. Anything making smart is a smart city program. So we have many smart city programs from IoT, from medical, from transportation, from healthcare, and allow me to share something here. Like here we show the, in Bombay there's a Reliance GeoMart. Yeah. Okay, there's an Advantech solution there. Yeah. And also that in the metro, okay, it's an Advantech solution there. So like a rolling stock from railroad to this kind of ruggedized computing, and to this kind of partnership with Japanese company into the railroad and the metro system. There's a Taiwanese computer there to do the digitalization. And also, of course, that the transportation is a big business. Surveillance over there is one of our advantage also for Taiwan companies, advantage to share this kind of solution in this kind of field. Okay, of course, AI is just mentioned several times. Is also as a Taiwanese computer company, we are also providing hardware level AI solution to all these India partners with the India smart software and AI applications. Okay, so final one is that actually during the 20 decades, we learned a lot from India. Actually not doing the business, but we learned a lot from India. Actually, it's a huge talent pool. So we cooperate with more than 38 colleges in India, one by one. It's not only doing the cooperation, we're doing a lot of components, computing, donation, partnership with the professor, doing some research together, and also engage with those IoT technology sharing with those students. I found that those young talents are brilliant. They are very eager and they want to help the whole India to grow into this field. So this is something that I share first. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. I guess when our audience to hear what Mark just shared with you, you can see Advantech. In fact, they got a lot of experiences already in India. You know what? That's in the I'm not that old. Okay, it's about 2008, 2009. That time I went to India. The first stop is NILIT. Okay, the second stop is Advantech, because I want to learn something. Okay, learn something from the experiences the people. That's why I think Advantech got a lot of the good experiences in India development. And Mark just mentioned that one of the advantage is the talent pool in India. I think it's very important, as I mentioned, that it's a 1.4+ billion population and 40% under 25 years old, median age 27, 28 something. I think it's a lot of the good potential to Taiwan, you know. And also Mark mentioned that the talent pool. So when we mention about the talent pool, we have to know about the skill development, especially to the ICT industry. How about the digital skilling program? I think NILIT is the expert on this, okay? So I'm glad I have the NILIT friend in Taiwan also. I know you arrived today, very early morning, I think, right? So, but I just arrived in Taiwan just the last night, maybe only 4 hours earlier than you. So I just hurry in coming back to participate in these important events. So I think we all get together here today, and that's why I would like to, can Dr. Tripathi can speak now? Okay, so I think talent development is very important for the growth, and the talent cooperation is also very good for Taiwan, India, for synergy. But how do we do it together? And what kind of digital program, training program, or skilling program, in what direction we can explore together? So in this regard, I think I should address this question to our DG, Dr. Tripathi. Dr. Tripathi?
Oh, thank you, Dr. Dennis. I hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, we hear very good, very clear. Thank you, thank you.
Okay. So first, my apologies that I could not reach there physically due to some unavoidable reasons. So I have listened to two panelists. They are from industry, and we all understand today that a lot of talents are required for the industry the way it is growing. And in NILIT in India, under Ministry of Electronics and IT, is the major skilling body in the area of electronics and information technology. We are also awarding an assessment body of the National Council of Vocational Education and Training in India. And we run several programs, and the total skilling output of NILIT is around 10 lakh students every year. And that ranges from the MTech, Master of Technology in Electronics Design and Technology, VLSI Design, Embedded System, Bachelor of Engineering programs, Diploma programs, and a lot of skilling programs at large number that includes the skilling program starting from 3 months to 1 year and 2 year program of the skilling, which is approved by NCVT in India and aligned with National Skill Qualification Framework of the country, ranging from level 3 to highest level 7. So we have a good skilling ecosystem in India, and we have some cooperation with Taiwan also. With CSF, the Computer Skill Foundation, Taiwan, IIE, Institute for Information Industry, and also TCA. We have some MOU. long back, where our qualifications and their qualifications are mapped, and the equivalency we have achieved for some of the qualification. We are also working for creating equivalency for more programs, right? So that is one very right way of creating talent pool, which is available to Indian side as well as Taiwanese side. We may also work to create some common certification which is acceptable to both the countries, and assessment methods, so that those students are readily available to the industry. And it's important that create a supply of the talent to the industry, as attrition rate sometimes is very high, and especially for the small industries it is very high because movement is fast sometimes. So to create a continuous supply of talent and manpower, it is important that India and Taiwan together move with common certifications, and those certifications should also be approved and accepted by industries in both the sides. Then it will be possible to create a talent pool, and NILET is always ready to work in this direction. Some things we have taken, and we have created a lot of facilities in India for virtual training. I would just take few examples. The first India AI Lab Center of Excellence, which was declared by Minister Finance, which is created in NILET. We are also creating more Center of Excellences in AI. In cyber security, NILET has a very strong program with complete training available on the virtual platform in cyber security and cyber forensics, and all the labs are virtual labs with all static and dynamic scenarios available, which is where students can do all the training. And we do large scale training for defense and banks in India for cyber security. Similarly, in electronics chip design and system design is one of the strong area of the NILET, where we are doing the skilling and creating the talent pool. So these are some areas where we are doing good, and where the mutual cooperation is possible between two countries and different agencies of the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tripathi. So as you can see, that the NILET is a major organization for the training, talent development, and also I think from Dr. Tripathi mentioned that some technology development as well, like AI, IoT, or even cybersecurity. So I think perhaps after this forum, maybe we can introduce more cooperation from other organizations as well. Like in Taiwan, we got a cybersecurity specialized organization, and the AI something lab those that. I think it's very nice. I think we can explore later. Okay, so maybe further. Let's say another synergy. That one. So my question, I would like to go to two gentlemen on site again. Okay. So we talk about the green, right? Today we got the green. I should say this is another keyword in this forum, right? So green development growth. So could you both share with some of like in India, so that regarding trade, so do you have some kind of the green solution you would like to seek in Taiwan, or some products? What's the major area are you looking for? So for some example, application or system solution like that, okay? So the same question, I think I should ask the Mark, okay? One is the supplier, one is buyer, I am doing some kind of business making, Okay, so please, yeah.
Yeah, the green is a concern for the world and our planet. We are having a lot of meetings, G7, G20, and worldwide is concerned about this. In India, the IT products, especially, we have many factories coming up for recycling, e-waste, and all these awareness programs are going on from our association, also from government, everywhere. And we always talk for the product which is for should not be it should be environment friendly. So products what we are now coming at after giving this after coming up with e-waste and e-cycles factories, even government has made it compulsory for any importers should have a compulsory EPR license. So with that, we are very much concerned about all IT products for green. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So it's some of the information about the demand side, right? Okay, how about the supply side then?
Okay, then it's from a computer point of view that actually I think that the smart city program in India government is a sort of a green program to the society in India. Actually, the green is in terms of especially for the growth of the energy. If you mention no matter it's windy, solar, or power or grid power, all of this is in terms of digital transformation. Everything needs to be digitalized, to be sensible, to be manageable, to be controllable. This is one of the key of the green energy. So actually, from this point of view, that the Taiwan computer company or IoT company, we can provide a lot of components, connection, sensor. We can partnership with a lot of India smart or software designer to do the energy saving, to do this kind of prediction and forecast, and also management, how to make the energy the most useful and efficient way to use the energy. So when there's a lot of opportunity from here, actually we, from our point of view, we saw a lot of opportunity, business opportunity. For us, I know like Adani, that is one of the biggest electricity power plant in India. They also mentioned a lot of green and also how to step into green. But I think step into the green is step by steps. Currently, more than 70% still the coal burning. But however, if you start to do the grid power or station control, actually can save at least more than 50% of efficiency by this kind of computing and IoT to do the gridding power. This, which is the United States also doing this kind of things. So I think that a lot of opportunity from India and Taiwan and also all the partners here that to step into this kind of green growth of the energy. I think this is a big opportunity for us.
Yeah, okay. I think that's a very good comment on that. I think if there's some company on site, you can see this is a good opportunity for some potential business, which Taiwan can work with India for another direction. So no matter in a trade, expanding, or technology cooperation, I don't know whether we have some kind of a certification for green. So I should ask about the 90, right? Okay, so maybe later we can have that one. But I think another question I would like to address to Dr. Tripathi. So as just you mentioned that the 90 got a certification training, as far as I know, and others, some research development startups, even that. So regarding talent cooperation in this regard, are there any Indian government policies or programs which Taiwan, the government or industry can cooperate with? So do you have some information, some program policies you can share with us so we can explore more in the future?
I think Government of India had many friendly policies to work with Taiwan. And under that, we have a MOU also with III, where we are training 5 batches from India in Taiwan, where people from industry are also participating in the training. The first batch training was completed last month, where around 26 people from Indian mobile industry participated. The first training was in virtual mode, theory part, and the practical part was done in Taiwan with industry. 4 more batches are about to come, and there is a working group which is working to identify the area of mutual cooperation. Maybe electrical vehicle is going to be one very important area, and then cyber security is going to be another important domain. And 2 more areas the working group is deliberating where the manpower can be trained from the industry by the Taiwanese industry, so that they, when come, some value addition is there in for Indian industry, and they can also help the Taiwanese industry who are working in India. So that is one cooperation already going on in my knowledge, where NILET is coordinating from India side and IIA is coordinating from the Taiwanese side. And in electronics manufacturing, you know very well that government of India is welcoming Taiwanese side in a big way and with a lot of funding. They are having around 36,000 crore, and 10% of that is only for skilling. So it's a huge amount which government of India has projected. Then we have several schemes like PLI scheme, DLI scheme, which government is Ministry of Electronics and IT is promoting, and recently cabinet has approved also. So I mean, we have all favorable policies for the Taiwanese industry in India, which can be used for mutual cooperation in future.
Okay, thank you. I think it's a very good reference, good information to me or to some. I think DDG just go back already. So I'm happy to join some kind of a vice ministerial meeting, bilateral meeting with India several times in New Delhi. I think that this is a good topic next time, maybe during our intergovernmental discussion. I think we can propose something for 90. And maybe with CSF or III or some organization. I think this is a purely industrial cooperation. So it's a good to India and Taiwan in growth and a synergy. And no any sensitive question there, right? You know what I mean, right? Okay, so I think that this is a very good discussion contents in the future. I think we can propose to the government to, I think, Leo, okay? So to TCA, you can figure out something to propose, okay? All right, it's a good suggestion. Anyway, so I think they just give me some hint. I know that, okay? So I see your eye,
Just
so
listen to you.
all right, okay, thank you. Yeah. So I think we are almost run out of time. I know that. Okay. So my last question is another question. I think the last opportunity is that I would like to ask our panelists, although today we are kind of a standing panel. Okay. So I think it's a good, I think it's a good model anyway. We got a standing buffet, standing party, but I think today is a standing panel discussion.
Yeah.
I think it's more relaxed about that, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. So the last one is I would like to ask our panelists, each 1 minute, to conclude something for your speech. Okay, Mark, from you. Within 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute is very fast. I think that, yeah, sure. I think that I saw a huge opportunity between India and the Taiwan Association, and also the partnership. Actually, just encourage the more Taiwanese company and to jump into the India to engage more opportunity business there. Actually, India have a huge territory, a lot of cities, a lot of opportunities there. So this is only one message. I think that just stepping and getting in touch with India friends and find out the opportunity together.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, Dr. Sir, very good work. Yeah, I would like to say, come to India. We are already here to welcome you all. Very good opportunities, and these are right combination, like Taiwanese and an Indian company. If they come together, it will be a miracle for the world, and very good opportunity for both of us. And we are open anytime. Our association is non-profit making association, and anyone who would like to come, we are open there. We will work day and night for you, and you will see that some collaboration happens between Taiwan and India. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what? I thought you will disclose what's your favorite Taiwan. Yeah, privately, okay. Okay, thank you, yeah. So Dr. Tripathi, could you share with the concluded in 1 minute?
Yeah, thank you. I think I would just like to say to both the panelists and others also that Government of India is very, very much open for any cooperation, and I can assure from the side of NILET that all the talent you need will be able to supply you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Tripathi. All right, I think we really had a very fruitful and a meaningful discussion in this panel. Although I think I think maybe we should talk in other hours, but I think the organizer will not allow me, okay? So we can chat after later, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm concluding today we have the fruitful and the meaningful discussion. And I'm looking forward to see you fellows long flight come to Taiwan, and especially the 90 friend, you know, Bhumika and Mr. Tripathi, early morning flight arrive. So they haven't got any rest yet, you know. So I think I hope you have the wonderful stay in Taiwan, okay? So thank you for all the participants. Thank you, and I wish you have a very good afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hu, and all the panelists, and very thank you to show us the standing panel discussion for the first time. Bravo for them. Thank you. Thank you. And then with this, we conclude the forum. I hope you find it informative. Please be informed that the forum has been recorded and will be made available on our social media platform. Follow us if you are interested in the program we just announced. For all the online viewers, our social links are now in the chat room. Follow us to stay updated on the future events. Thank you for join us today. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Next will be our grand launch of the Twin Society and the networking dinner. The audience who was registered for the networking dinner, VIPs, speakers, and delegates, please follow our steps and to move to the dinner venue right outside. So right now, let's go outside and to continue the event right now. Thank you. Yeah.